Train the muscles, not the joints. So thanks for tuning in to another Natural Gallant bodybuilding video. And today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about leg extension. But first and foremost, make sure you join the group on Facebook, Natural Gallant Bodybuilding. And if you are a person that doesn't have a Facebook account and you're just opening up one now, just make sure that you send me a message, because I won't let you in the group otherwise, because there's a lot of fake accounts and stuff like that going around on Facebook. So some of these people just want to get in a group and then spam some sort of affiliate marketing type of thing or something. So anyway, just shoot me a message. So anyway, today I want to talk to you a little bit about leg extensions and why I don't do them, okay? So first of all, I just want to explain to you, when you're training legs, the safest way to train legs is to put the weight above the hips. That's why power lifters put the weight above the hips. They don't knee squat. They have a tendency to really push off the hips and the ass and the hamstrings. And then the quadriceps are used as assisting type muscles. And to punctuate this point, you'll see that they use knee wraps to increase the springiness of the knees to keep some of the tension off the knees, because they want some of that quadricep work to be taken up with those wraps, okay? If any of you have ever wrapped your knees really tight, you'll know that it just totally springs you out of the bottom. It takes a lot of stress off the knee, okay? So that's another reason why I talk about different ranges of motion for a person that doesn't wear knee wraps. I don't wear knee wraps, but if I did, then it's a lot easier to go all the way down or further down without any sort of stress on the knee, because that thing, the knee wrap gets tighter as you go deeper, right? That said, the safest way to fire the quadricep is with the hamstring firing at the same time, to keep the knee tight in the joint, okay? So the knee is tight. So this is, say this is the shin, okay? And this is the knee, you know, patella right here. This is the patella, okay? And then when the hamstring is tight, it goes boom, pulls it into the joint really tight like that. Now when this happens, the knee is not in a compromised position, okay? Because the hamstring's firing, keeping it tight, and now when the quadricep fires, it's not grinding. The knee is not rubbing. You see? This is not happening, right? Hamstring tight, hamstring loose. Hamstring tight, hamstring loose, okay? So when you're in a leg extension, your hamstring's loose, okay? You're just firing the quadricep. So in some cases, this can work okay for you depending on how you're genetically built, but it's not really the natural way that your power muscles are supposed to function, okay? Whenever you sprint or run, that's when the nature's power comes in, okay? Sprinting away from a predator or hunting, you know, you're chasing something, and this happens from activating the hamstring first, and the quadricep helps, okay? Even when you're walking up a hill and your quads really get that burn, there's hamstring and glute being fired at the same time as the quadricep. There's very rarely a time in nature, or as the body naturally moves, that the quadricep is fired under tension by itself. And again, I do talk about this in a vlog. So this is the reason why I found that when I do leg extensions, heavy, you know, or even medium weight, sometimes it just irritates my knees. My knees don't really like it. I find that then when I go to squat or then I go to leg press, then I start to get some knee pain. It doesn't seem to really work. Now, I've worked on the trigger points in the quads. I've worked on all sorts of things. And the fact is that it just is not a natural way for my body to move. Now for you, you can do it, but I don't really recommend leg extensions. And a lot of times when I train people, I don't even do them. Unless they're so overweight or incapacitated in some way that they can't move, then I will do light sort of exercises like that. You know, so say somebody's 400 or 500 pounds and they can't really do a body weight squat or anything. So at that point, I'm forced to use some sort of machines with them. But ideally, I want to work them into body weight and natural movement, okay? That's really the ideal sort of scenario. So this is why I don't do leg extensions. Once in a while, I might play around on them for sets of 30 or 40 reps or something, but it's always lighter weight and always isolation. So this is the other thing I've also found, okay? Some exercises just don't work well with heavy weight. It doesn't mean the exercises are horrible. It just means they are not meant for heavy weight. Skull crushers, in most cases, are okay to go medium weight, but sets of 3 or 4, I would say that's too heavy, okay? Overhead skull crusher, or overhead, you know, extension, which a lot of people like to do, they'll do like sets of 4, sets of 5 or something like that. I find this is elbow breaker if you start to go into the 5 rep range. You know, so I always stayed with 15 reps, 20 reps, you know, with this type of movement. So there are certain motions that you will find through your own experimentation, especially the isolation movements. You'll find that, you know, you will have a different tolerance level for rep ranges with them. And I would advocate strongly to err on the side of caution with isolation movements. You don't need to go to 4 rep range or 2 rep range or 5 rep, just straining. Because there is a tendency for injury more, because in an isolation movement, you're trying to just have one joint as the primary a focus of the force. And if there's something wrong with that joint or something goes wrong, there's nowhere for the force to go besides just stay there. So then you end up with a muscle tear or a problem, okay? So I hope this explains a little bit about why I don't do leg extensions and why I don't like them for me. But if you can use them without injury, no problem. But I would really encourage you to stay definitely above, you know, 15 to 20 reps, you know, with leg extensions on average, and keep your power movements more for compound, you know, your power days or your low rep days more for compound type movements. So I hope this helps you out with your training. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and make sure you check out my website, naturalgallantbodybuilding.com, and take care for now.